She has only a short time to live. She cannot accompany us home because of her condition. Therefore, it is absolutely necessary that I take her egg sac with me. I can't reach it, and I can't climb. You are the only one that can get it. There's not a second to be lost. The people are coming. They will be here in no time. Please, 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 Templeton, climb up and get the egg sac. The rat yawned. He straightened his whiskers, then he looked up at the egg sac. So, he was in disgust. So, it's old Templeton to the rescue again, is it? The Templeton do this, Templeton do that. Templeton, please run down the dump and get me a magazine clipping. Templeton, please lend me a piece of string so I can spin a web. Oh, hurry, said Wilbur. Hurry up, Templeton. But the rat was in no hurry. He began imitating Wilbur's voice. So it's a hurry up, Templeton, is it? He said. Ho ho. And what thanks do I ever get for these services? I would like to know. Never a kind word for old Templeton. Only abuse and wise cracks and side remarks. Never a kind word for a rat. Templeton, said Wilbur in desperation, if you don't stop talking and get busy, or we'll be lost and I will die of a broken heart. Please climb up. Templeton lay back in the straw. Lazily, he placed his forepaws behind his head and crossed his knees in an attitude of complete relaxation. Die of a broken heart, he mimicked. How touching. My, I notice it's always me you come to when in trouble, but I've never heard of anyone's heart breaking on my account. Oh no, who cares anything about old Templeton? Get up, screamed Wilbur. Stop acting like a spoiled child. Templeton grinned and lay still. Who made trip after trip to the dump? He asked. Why, it was old Templeton. Who saved Charlotte's life by scaring that Arab boy away with a rotten goose egg? Bless my soul, I believe it was old Templeton. Who beat your tail and
You
got
mean
you back
that?
on
He
your
said.
feet
I
this morning
promise
after
I
you
crossed
had
my
fainted
heart.
in front of
All
the
right,
crowd?
it's a deal,
Old
said the
Templeton,
rat. He walked
has it
to the
ever
door
occurred
and
to you
started
that
to
I'm sick of
climb.
running errands
His
and
tongue
doing
was still
favors?
swollen
What
from
do you
last
think
night's
I am?
gorge.
Anyway,
Groaning
groaning and
or
complaining,
work.
he pulled
Wilbur
himself
was
slowly
desperate.
to the
The
ceiling.
people were
He
coming
crept
and
the
the
rat
along
was
till he
failing him.
reached the
Suddenly he
exit.
remembered
Charlotte moved
Templeton's
aside for
fondness
him.
for
She
food.
was dying, but she
Templeton, he
still
said,
had
I will
strength
make
enough
you a
to move a
solemn
little.
promise.
When
Get
Templeton
Charlotte
bared
egg
his
for me,
long,
and
ugly
from now
teeth
on I
and
will
began
let you
snipping
eat
the
first
thread
when
that
Lurby
fastened
slaps
the
me.
sack
I will let you
to
have
the
your
ceiling.
choice of
Wilbur
everything
watched
in the
from
trap,
below.
and I won't touch a thing until you are through. Use extreme care, he said. I don't want a single one of those eggs harmed. If the stuff sticks in my mouth, complained the rat. This is worse than caramel candy. But Templeton worked away at the job and managed to cut the sack adrift and carried it to the ground, where he dropped it in front of Wilbur. Wilbur heaved a great sigh of relief. Thank you, Templeton, he said. I will never forget this as long as I live. Neither will I, said the rat, picking his teeth. I feel as though I'd eaten a spool of thread. Well, home we go. Templeton crept into the crate and buried himself in the straw. He got out of sight just in time. Lurvy and John Arrober and Mr. Zuckerman came along at that moment, followed by Mrs. Arrober and Mrs. Zuckerman and Avery and Fern. Wilbur had already decided how he would carry the egg sack. There was only one way possible. He carefully took the little bundle in his mouth and held it there on top of his tongue. He remembered what Charlotte had told him, that the sack was waterproof and strong. It felt funny on his tongue and made him drool a bit. And of course, he couldn't say anything. But as he was being shoved into the crate, he looked up at Charlotte and gave her a wink. She knew he was saying goodbye in the only way he could, and she knew her children were safe. Goodbye, she whispered. Then she summoned all her strength and waved one of her front legs at him. She never moved again. Next day, as the Ferris wheel was being taken apart and the race horses were being loaded into vans and the entertainers were packing up their belongings and driving away in their trailers, Charlotte died. The fairgrounds were soon deserted. The sheds and buildings were empty and forlorn. The infield was littered with bottles and trash. Nobody of the hundreds of people that had visited the fair knew that a gray spider had played the most important part of all. Nobody was with her when she died.